Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
Hey.
I was like, who's going to talk first?
I know. I was waiting for you.
So, hey, guys. Welcome to Hey, Babe, episode 4.
Yeah.
We did it.
We've
Four
done 3
times.
big ones, too. I feel like they were, like, big.
We've opened up a lot on these past couple of podcasts.
Yeah.
And before we start opening up more, you guys might notice, if you're watching us on YouTube, we're in a new set.
Yay. Look how cute it is.
So we have a new little space. We're kind of actually in the process of redecorating my office.
Mm-hmm.
So the table that was in there is now out, and it's now in Missy's Nook area. And we kind of made this cool little podcast set. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that. So if you guys like our set and you're on YouTube, click that thumbs up button to let us know.
Yeah, I love this. I think this looks really cute.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll stay like this. I don't know if we're just gonna like keep doing it here. I do like it, but we do also have a studio.
Yeah, so we can have
we're
this
working
here.
on.
We'll probably have this here from now on until we get the studio going. So for those of you who don't know and maybe you were interested in an update, we are building a studio.
Yeah.
Like a full-fledged
exciting.
professional music studio. We're going to be doing some family music. I'm writing and recording for more music. And we're going to have more musicians working there. So when we do get the studio space set up, I think that's probably where we're going to want to record these podcasts.
Yeah.
But for right now, this works at home.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is actually a really cool space because it's easy for us to get into and get out of when we have kids and stuff. But so far, so good with our podcast. I feel like we're really still getting a great feedback.
I know. It's been really, really cool to kind of like do something new in a new way. We're telling new stories. We're telling them in a different way. And it's been really cool. For those of you who haven't left a rating yet on iTunes, please do it because it helps us out a ton. And we have a lot of really, really awesome ones.
Yeah.
A lot of really awesome reviews. We've been going through, reading through your comments, and it's been really cool.
It's been really fun because, you know, we've always gotten feedback from the things that we've made, but it's fun reading new feedback about something new that we've made. So we've been reading a lot about, you know, our reviews, especially on like iTunes. And we got this really awesome one, which we actually
go ahead and read it, babe.
Tweet it out. And I just have to say, like, this was such a heartfelt one that I really liked, but it was from, where is it?
K Bolton 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she said, so K Bolton 3 says, it is so good y'all don't even understand. They are not sugarcoating anything. They are just talking about how life is. It is so intriguing, like it draws you in and you can't stop listening. It feels like we're just having a conversation with friends. They are so welcoming. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
I just thought that was like such a sweet like comment because that's really like what we're trying to do is just like not sugarcoat anything, just be who we are because we are real.
Maybe
like,
chocolate coat it.
Yeah, I do like chocolate.
Make it a little saucy.
But yeah, I mean, we have conversations with our friends all day long and we're always laughing and having fun. And we don't get to always show that part of us. And it's so fun being able to like kind of just be like, yeah, let's all just be friends and talk and just be normal.
Yeah. And you guys are getting to see the plethora of our mug collection too.
Yeah.
We have 2 different mugs again on this episode. I'm rocking this blue one.
You made
like
that.
A sandy texture. I did, right?
I think so, yeah.
Where, like a painted earth?
Yeah, like one of those painted pottery places and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And mine was actually a Christmas present for my cousin, and it says A Sassenach.
Oh, come on, babe. You know, it's pronounced I.
I Sassenach.
I Sassenach. What's that from?
Yeah, so this is from Outlander. It's like my favorite show, my favorite book, my favorite everything.
Yeah.
And so I actually am really enjoying being able to drink out of it.
Aw, you feel like a Sassenach?
I do.
For those of you who don't know, a Sassenach, what does it mean?
It's
like
an outlander, like someone who's, or no, actually Sassenach is an English person or an English woman.
Like in a...
Wow, I'm the worst fan of Outlander ever. Basically, he like nicknamed her Sassenach because she's like
that's like her nickname.
An English woman. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. It's what I call Missy when I'm trying to get into her pants.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that is
Basically.
true.
Yeah. The accent helps too.
It does.
Yeah. So yeah, we're still getting Hey Babe mugs soon, but I figure, you know what, we'll probably go through our collection first.
Yeah. So in our last podcast, we talked about growing up. So if you haven't seen it or listened to it, I feel like we really talked pretty in depth. I actually got a lot of messages from people growing up who were like, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know a lot of people were really, really interested in your story, which was really cool that we were able to share about all that.
Yeah, and I want you guys to know too, like, because this is a podcast and it's such an honest, like, raw conversation, like, We can totally go back to other things. If you guys liked us talking about something, let us know on Twitter.
Yeah, there's always more to talk about. There's so much more.
Let us know, and we love having like kind of like this open-ended format of content that we can kind of talk about whatever we want, and we can give you a quick update about something or mention something we missed in the last one. Just let us know. And if you don't know, our official Twitter for the podcast is @HeyBabe. So go follow us on Twitter there. And
we like to read your inputs on Twitter, and you can always hashtag HeyBabe podcast. But we did get a comment regarding last podcast on our YouTube, or my YouTube channel, on the video, and it was from Shaylee, and
what did she say?
We went to Idaho to pick up Brian, in quotations. I'm not crying, you're crying. That was a really was such a real moment. Well, it's the truth.
And it's something that you've said a lot.
Yeah.
You've always mentioned that phrase.
Said it a lot.
Oh yeah, it was probably him who started it. We went to Idaho to pick up Brian.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how the story was.
And that's my dad said it first. I was like, oh, that was such a sweet thing for my dad to say. And then I've always said it. And it really is something that we've talked about. So basically, we talked about how we went to Idaho, and we were there for 8 years, but really the main thing that came out of it is that we found Brian. So.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about being real on the podcast, and how we really want that to be portrayed in our podcast or in everything we do. But it's so hard to do on YouTube for some reason.
It's really difficult to do.
I don't know why it's so hard, but on the podcast.
Well, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
We've had 5 or 6 years of experiences kind of like suppressing that.
Like situation on top of situation to kind of push you down. So this is like a fresh new start for us. So we're excited to be able to share who we are and share our stories with you guys. And it seems exciting, but it is hard. It's
really hard. Yeah.
Because I honestly don't think that just anyone, even the most normal of people, could come onto a podcast in front of a microphone or a camera and literally just say their true thoughts and feelings. Cause it's really hard. I'm not trying to
even for us, we put a camera in front of us probably because subconsciously it'd be very difficult to record this podcast without a camera on us.
You think so?
If we just had the microphones and it was just us, I feel like you and I would be in a mindset where we would clam up and not know what to say.
We were just
with a camera on us, we've been on YouTube for so long. So when someone has a camera on us, it's easy to kind of go oh, we're talking and we're entertaining now.
Yeah. And we kind of have an idea of who we're talking to as well because we're used to that. It's nice because we're just looking at each other and we're talking to each other, it feels like.
Yeah.
We know we're talking to other people, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, we want this to be a conversation, but it's definitely hard to break down those walls.
Yeah. No, I want to have
everyone, and everyone's got them, everyone's got walls. And
yeah.
I feel like the older you get, the more you do break those walls down and your true self kind of comes out, and you get more comfortable in your skin and you get more comfortable in your thoughts and opinions. And that's how cranky old men and women are formed.
Are developed.
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm hoping one day I can get my friends on a podcast with me, just because we love to have funny banter and talk and all that fun stuff. But none of them are really used to that camera and microphones. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
how it goes,
and I mean that's different for us too. A lot of our friends have been also YouTube personalities. So they've been on camera and stuff. And over the last year, we've developed a lot of friendships with people who don't.
Yeah.
They don't really know what to say if you put a camera in front of them. A lot of them get really uncomfortable. But we've been able to develop these really great friendships with them. But it would be interesting to see them in this element.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know if that's something that you guys would want. And we are thinking about our first guest.
Yeah,
who's our first guest gonna be?
We've got a lot of ideas. And I wanted to give a quick little shout out to Cullen from Katie and Cullen. He just started a podcast.
Yeah, so he just started one called Don't Tell Mom.
Yeah, and it's so cute, so funny. Definitely got to go check them out.
Yeah, I'll have a link in the iCard so you guys can check out their podcast on YouTube if you're watching here. They also are doing a YouTube version of it, which is really neat.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of them. And hopefully, I'm sure we'll have them on sometime. But
totally.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun to have Cullen on. It'd be so fun to have our friends Carl and Ginger on.
Oh, yeah. They have got a podcast, too.
Yeah, and we're actually getting ready to do a really cool trip with them. We're going to Vegas.
Yes. Yeah, so we are actually headed to Vegas tomorrow.
We're going tomorrow.
Actually, we are really excited about it because we're going with Carl and Ginger, who are some of our closest friends. And we just love them. And it's so nice because we can go, they do YouTube, but we're going to go to Vegas and we are not doing YouTube.
Yeah, it's really great because if you have friends who are YouTubers, you're not going to be very good friends if you don't balance YouTube and friends.
Yes, yeah.
Like you have to do it. You have to have times where you're hanging out as friends, and you have to have times where you're hanging out and collabing.
Yeah, and that's the
working.
best kind of. Even collabs are the best because you're like, this is a true friendship, you know.
Yeah,
and
it's really great being able to even like both like all week we're grinding, we're getting all our stuff done so we can leave for 2 days and hang out, you know, and have those 2 days off.
Yeah.
And we're kind of all in that mindset. So like they're doing it too, like they're filming videos and recording stuff and we're getting caught up and then we get to go to Vegas, babe.
Yeah. So what are you excited about for Vegas?
Well, we're going to see a comedian.
Who are we going to see?
We're going to go see Joe Rogan at the
my
Mirage.
gosh.
Should be really cool.
He's like the podcast king.
He's he's got a great little podcast here on iTunes.
Just a little one.
Yeah. So that should be really cool. I've never seen his stand-up, but I was just talking to Dallas, our assistant, and he was saying that he's very vulgar.
Ooh.
So be prepared.
Interesting.
And I am very prepared. That's what Vegas is about. You know, it's about like we are adults. We don't need to sugarcoat everything. You know, it's like it's Vegas. It's like Disneyland for adults.
It really is. I love Vegas because I feel like we can just like literally be whoever we want and like we don't have to care about anything. Like there's no rules in Vegas. I mean, we've got some basic moral rules that you can keep here, but you know what I mean? Like there's no
that
rules.
You can keep too, but it's also Vegas.
You know, you can do whatever you want in Vegas. Like whatever happens in Vegas, it stays in Vegas. No, and my favorite thing, honestly, doing in Vegas is just drinking.
Yes.
I love to like drink and sit by the pool and I do love to gamble too.
Yeah. So we're going to be at the Mirage, which is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Never stayed there, but every time we go to Vegas, we try to hit up a new casino. So which ones have we been to?
Oh my gosh.
Can you remember? New York.
We've been to New York.
Cosmopolitan.
We've been to the Excalibur. We've also been to the Palms, which is off the strip, but really, really awesome.
Palms. Paris.
Yeah, we have stayed at Paris. Yeah, we've done it. We try to stay at a different one every time. So
yeah, now we're gonna be at the Mirage. Oh, but I've stayed at the Bellagio.
Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah, Bellagio.
I do. Vegas is like that one place that I'm like, okay, you can't do it for like multiple days. You go for like 2 days and you just have so much fun, and then you like come home and recoup.
You do like one overnighter, and then like you kind of have like a relaxing day.
Yeah, I think that Vegas is a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah, we love Vegas. We love going to Vegas. If you're watching this on YouTube, let us know down below in the comments. What do you guys like to do on Vegas?
We did bring the kids to Vegas the last trip, and that was interesting.
It was really fun though.
It was really fun. It worked out, and it was fine, and the kids had a blast because they love staying in hotels and swimming. But, you know, I mean, it was just like, okay, I've got to watch kids.
It is a little weird because they're like running towards the machines. They just want to play on them. They just think they're arcade games.
Yes.
So they're running towards these gambling machines, and we're just like trying to keep them at bay because like we don't want to get kicked out if I don't know.
We like were crossing the street of Vegas one night at night, which I think Vegas at night is really fun for kids because they like look up and there's just so many lights and stuff. But my kids didn't look up; they looked straight ahead where some girl's booty was just hanging out.
Yeah, it was like a showgirl with the big feathers behind her,
the traditional Vegas,
and her booty was hanging out, and probably like 5 feet in front of Finn, and of course Finn's perfect eye level, right?
Finn was like pointing.
Oh, he was pointing and laughing.
Yes.
And like screaming hysterically. He loved it.
It was so funny. Ollie actually was. Ollie didn't really notice, but Finn was like,
Finn was all about that booty.
Butt. Like I think he even said butt. It was like, oh my gosh.
No, he said booty. Yeah, he was pointing and laughing and yelling booty. It was hilarious. It was the greatest thing ever. So Vegas can be weird with your kids for sure. You got to be a little careful.
Yeah, for sure.
So we also just got back from a really cool overnight date.
Yes.
Do you want to tell them about that?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna be honest. We do like dating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why we're still in love.
I know. We like to be able to get away.
We have to have our time.
And we work really hard. Like I can honestly say, like our days can be really stressful, really hard. And I'd hate to complain or anything. It's not complaining. It's just being honest. Like
it's not complaining. It's just there are times you need to turn off and you need to be normal, a normal couple.
It is literally impossible to turn it off at home. Like we work from the second we wake up, it's like, okay, what are we filming? What are we doing today? Like, what work do we have to get done? What are we planning? What do we need to post? Like everything. What emails we need to go through? What's going on with all of our employees? Like, it's a lot. And so we work literally from sun up to sundown.
Yes, that's normally how the sun works.
And we have time where, we can like breathe, go swim, and a lot of our work can be fun, but we like literally have to shut it off sometimes. And the only way for us to shut it off, I swear, is to just leave sometimes. So, and I think that's okay. Luckily, we have the luxury of that because my parents are always available and able to watch the kids. So it's really nice. But so we did do an overnight stay.
It was really like random.
Yeah, no, he just like randomly, he's like, do you want to go on a date tomorrow? I was like, sure.
And then I was like, oh, can we make it overnight? You're like, maybe.
I guess, but what about the kids? Like, I don't know. So then he figured it all out for me.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't tell me anything.
I didn't want to tell her anything. Missy's so bad with surprises too, so it's kind of funny to watch her squirm.
I'm going to be honest, guys. Let's just say that I didn't figure it out, but I could have. But I let him have this one.
Of course she could have.
I was actually that morning that we were supposed to leave, I had to
do some
grab
Google
your
searches.
phone. No, I grabbed his phone and I saw he had some text messages and I saw something was from Dallas and I was like, I wonder if I should look at that. And then I was like, no, I shouldn't look at it. And so I didn't.
Well, you're growing, and I'm very proud of you because that is not
really
what you would have done like a couple years ago.
Oh, like
Missy's so bad with surprises, you guys. She figures out all of her Christmas presents.
Is that
birthday
me
presents.
so bad, or is that you're so bad because you can't figure out how to keep a secret?
No, I am very good at it. You are just like a snoop, and you have no shame.
It's not snooping.
You're such a snoop.
I literally didn't even mean to come across the text message, but I have snooped for sure.
You opened my phone and then hit the messages app. And you didn't mean you know you did. You know you did.
I swear.
Everyone does it. Everyone does it. You pick up your partner's phone, you click messages, and you do a quick scroll through and you see who they've been talking to.
No,
it's completely normal. You don't need to be so
swear,
defensive about it, Missy.
Yes, I totally do that. But it's totally fine. But in this case, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think it was just literally open on it and I saw it and I was like, oh, shoot.
Okay.
And I came off of it.
All right.
So, anyways, so he has this surprise and I'm like, okay, cool. This will be really fun. And
is that really what you were thinking? That's what you said to me, but what were you thinking?
I was like, I don't know what this could possibly be.
You're thinking, if this sucks, I don't want to do it.
Well,
right?
No, I honestly was really looking forward to spending time with you.
So Dallas,
but when I found out what it was, I was like, "This sucks. I don't want to do this." Kidding.
You're such a brat, babe.
Well, tell him what we did.
I'm changing the episode or the show name to Hey Brat.
Hey Brat.
Just kidding. I love you. So Dallas texted me and he was like, "Hey, I have 2 tickets for this musical. Do you and Missy like musicals?" I was like, "Yeah, we like musicals." He's like, "It's called Avenue Q." So I went to YouTube and I looked up the trailer and I was like, heck yeah, we are going to see that. I'm not even going to tell you guys what it is, but it was hilarious. And then, we got there and Missy still had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't have any idea until basically I got there.
Yeah, let's just say it involves Muppets.
Yeah.
Puppets and adults and adult humor.
So
it was, it was pretty funny.
And it's something that I'm telling you right now. If he had said, "Do you want to go to this?" I would have said no.
But you enjoyed it, right?
It was funny. It was not my kind of funny.
Babe, there were like Muppets, like a Muppet stripper on stage. Come on, that's hilarious.
It was like, okay. It was funny.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, honestly, not my favorite date.
Oh my gosh. Not your favorite date?
Not my favorite
I thought we had fun afterwards. What did we do afterwards?
So much fun afterwards. Are you getting actually offended right now?
No, that was just my cute segue for
okay.
you. But we had fun afterwards, Missy. What did we do afterwards?
So we actually, he found this really cute hipster place he was going to take me.
Yeah.
I was really excited about it.
It's called Campfire, and it's basically like a bunch of hipster guys cooking things over open flames. Mm-hmm. All the cooks had like their own like little campfire, and they were like cooking like artisanal meats and stuff.
I had one look at that menu, and I was like, I'm not eating here.
Yeah. They didn't. I don't even think they offered free bread and butter. I honestly don't know what I was thinking.
He knows the rule. I need some bread and some butter.
Well, here's the thing. Ever since I lost a bunch of weight, I don't like to eat a lot of food. So like, I'm not looking for like a giant steak. I'm not looking for like a ton of free bread. I'm looking for like the most yummiest little creation ever. And when I go out to eat, I want to try something completely different. You know what I mean? I want like couscous with like a raspberry creme fraiche and like on lamb or something. You know, like I want something weird like that. Missy wants
I just want steak and potatoes. Or like some pasta.
So
like
funny. And that is like, I am a city boy and I married a country girl.
Yeah.
And that is like, that's our life.
Yeah.
So we had a
really
couple
tried.
drinks.
I'm telling you right now, I really, really tried to find something
Well,
to
Missy
eat.
had a couple drinks. She didn't drink the first one.
The first one was too fancy.
But apparently he got it right with the second one.
Yes, it was good at the second one. And then, I really tried to find something to eat on the menu. And like,
there was nothing to eat. So we left.
We left. And we found a nice little Italian place. And it was delicious. We
did actually find the best hole-in-the-wall Italian place.
So good.
In Carlsbad. I don't even remember the name or I'd give it a shout out. But there was a ton of like mom and pop Italian places like on the corner, I feel like, in that old historic district.
Butter. I mean, they had bread.
Yeah, they had bread,
which was perfect. They didn't have butter, but it's like whatever. You have bread, that's good. You have pasta, you got
it's Oceanside, Carlsbad, so it's like great seafood. Yeah, it was amazing.
It was
seafood.
really, really fun.
And just being around in that area, it's like a lot of the historical buildings are just really fun, and there's cool shops.
We just had such a fun night. Like it was less than 24 hours away, but it was just so nice because we stayed in like this cute little Airbnb, and we just got to like reconnect and hang out, and it was just really, really, really fun. So thank you for taking me on a date.
You're welcome.
I mean, you really tried.
I did. I really tried to. I honestly just wanted to get you alone so I could write a song with you.
Yeah. How did that go?
We did a little bit of it.
Yeah, we wrote like a little bit of a song.
We wrote a really cool verse and bridge actually. Yeah. So I was like, oh. Okay.
We'll see how maybe we'll get better at it, and we'll share
I'm trying to do that.
Music.
You guys, for those of you who don't know, Missy is my muse. So
that's what he says.
We need trips like that if you guys want any new music soon.
Yeah.
We need more trips like that, okay, babe?
No, yeah. Every experience we have in our life, I'm like, is he gonna write a story about this or write a song about this?
Oh, come on. So today's podcast, Missy has an interesting topic she'd like to talk about for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I just thought, a lot of people ask us like, how did you, come from Idaho and basically afford California, which is a really expensive place.
It's tough going from like a state like Idaho, living there for so long, moving to a state like California.
Yeah.
It's a culture shock.
Yeah.
I was culture shocked. And I grew up in California. Yeah, well, I didn't grow up, but I lived here till I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And like I would visit occasionally, but when we came back here to move, it was a culture shock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like when I lived here as a kid, my parents went to try and buy a house here, and I mean the just dumpiest house that you can find was at least gonna be $300K plus. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that was just not in my parents' budget. They were just like, and we don't want to live in that.
And that would get you more than a good house in Idaho.
Oh my gosh. If we had spent that much, we would have lived in a freaking mansion.
Yeah, in Idaho.
In Idaho,
In Idaho.
Yeah, but
it would be in Idaho.
Yeah, but in Idaho. But once my parents saw the prices in Idaho, they were like, ooh, we can have a nice normal house with a cute backyard and pay less than $100,000. Cool.
So
I could buy a house.
You guys were in Indiana, and your parents did consider moving to California, but then they they move from California to Indiana?
No. So when we lived in when my parents first met, or like when my parents first got married, they moved to Indiana for 4 years for my dad's college, but then they came right back to California. Okay. So they just kind of went there for college. But
so your family was pretty deeply rooted in California.
Oh yeah, like all my aunts, uncles, grandma, grandpas, and we were just like, I'm so sorry, guys, like we cannot afford this. Yeah. And so we moved to Idaho where it was cheap, but literally my mom always told me we will never be able to get back to California because there's no way for us to ever be able to afford California's prices for homes. If we were to sell our home, it wouldn't even be enough for a down payment for a home in California where we could all live. comfortably. So it was like literally we were thinking it's going to be impossible. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. And then we did randomly so after me and Brian got back from New York, well, maybe we'll tell that story one day, but we decided we wanted to go back to California with my parents.
Yeah.
And find a way. Because my dad was just done in Idaho. The weather was just killing him.
The snow.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and maybe a lot of people are listening to this, like, why are you trying to get to California? Because I'm sure lots of people have no desire to live in California, and I totally give those people props. I think that's awesome. But like,
so
we are just Cali people, I guess.
Well, okay, let's just.
Is it just because of like our personalities? Because of like, or is it like what we do? You know what I mean? Like,
well, when we lived in Idaho, obviously we didn't know what our careers were going to take us, but it did feel like there was more opportunity in California.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, in Idaho, what was I aspiring to do?
You were starting photography, but it wasn't going to be enough in California.
Yeah. It'd be so in Idaho. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard. Yeah. So
Idaho.
It's hard to be an artist in Idaho because there's just not enough people to appreciate your art.
Oh yeah.
You have to work harder.
Yeah.
In California, there is so many resources, so many opportunities, so many people. And there's just so much business. So that's why business owners come to California.
And that's not even the main reason we came to California. We just happened to be entrepreneurs. Yeah, we happened to be, and we were like, okay, this might have more opportunity. Let's head there. But you know, also my whole family's here. My aunts, uncles, grandma, grandpas were all here. So it was like, let's just get back to where all our family is. Yeah. And you know what happened?
And I had some aunts. I had an aunt here too.
You have an aunt here. So I mean, it just felt like. It felt like it was time, and my dad was just done like driving in snow because he was a truck driver, and it was killing him. So, but the thing is, how are we going to get back? How do we do it? Like my parents, how are they going to afford it? Like my dad was going to have to transfer and still be making the same amount living in California, and it was not going to be enough. They ended up finding randomly like a little rental. Yeah. That it was supposed to be just for like my parents. Yeah. And
then we were like, hey, can we come too? And they're like, okay.
Yeah. And it had room. It was a 4-bedroom, but it was 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, 1,200 square feet, no backyard.
No backyard. And the 1,200 square feet didn't include the back, like the garage. It was just like, it was so small.
Gosh, how much were we paying for that place? It was like 1,500?
Yeah. It had to be, maybe about 1,500
I think it was about 1,500, yeah.
Which, I mean, we were barely making it.
And that's like the minimum of what you need to rent out here in California to get a house.
That I don't even think that's true anymore. I think that 1,500 is not possible for a house. Crazy? Yeah. I think that it's going to be at least $2,000 at this point for just the rental, and not including like, all your utilities.
Which is just more expensive here in California. Everything's just more expensive in California. You leave the house, you have to have cash on you. You have to have a 20. You know what I mean? You can't just go to a park and participate in the free city lunch day at the park where they give you a free
That's how it was in
lunch.
Idaho.
And then everyone watches a movie on the projector screen and they pass out coloring books to the kids.
If you even want to go on a hike, you have to pay for the pass to park your car.
You have to pay for everything in California. So it's just a different lifestyle and everyone's kind of living a lot more fast paced. Yeah. Our grocery stores have more ready-made food, more prepared foods than other states, just because we're such a grab and go state. Yeah. We all have too much damn work to do, basically. We're all working way too friggin' hard here in California.
So that we can live here.
To be able to afford to live in California. But it's the dream. It's the American dream. Yeah. I was taught, and I don't know if it was taught to me or maybe if it was self-conscious, but I was taught that you want to end up in California. That's where opportunity is. Yeah. Interesting. So whenever my whole life living in Idaho, I never really thought I would live there forever. Interesting. It was always like, when am I going back to California? Because I'm not made for this. I wasn't made for Idaho. I'm a city boy. I don't want to hunt. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I want to make music. And
I actually hear that a lot though. That even people from other countries, they think of California as like the epitome of living and it's beautiful weather all the time. And
Hollywood's here. It's full of beautiful people and beautiful trees and beautiful weather.
Yeah. For me, I literally just wanted to come to California because it's where my family was. Where I was from. It felt like home. And
you would follow your family to
anywhere.
A hodunk anywhere.
The place
anywhere USA.
I would totally live in Idaho again if I could take all of my people with me.
Yeah.
And that's like really hard to do. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll ever happen. But I mean, we were literally trying to afford to live in California with my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, me, and you. Mm-hmm. And we were barely making it and working multiple jobs.
Yeah.
Like
it was tough.
It was really hard.
And in Idaho, we rented a 2-bedroom apartment in Boise. I was the only one who had a job. I worked Saturday and Sunday. And you had a job. Did you have a job?
I had a job for for a little bit.
Not really though. And then we also supported Jimmy. Jimmy was going to school with me too. So he lived with us. And
he paid his rent, but
He paid like a portion of his rent, but our rent was $650 in Idaho for a 2-bedroom apartment. We were doing great. Yeah. And I worked 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And I went to school.
Yeah,
that's amazing that you can go to college, work 2 days a week, and afford to live in an apartment in Idaho.
I think that's so awesome.
Totally possible.
And I know things might be different now, but that's how it was when we when we rented our little first house in Emmett, Idaho. Was our rent like $450? $450 was our rent for the cutest little 1-bedroom house.
Yeah.
That's not, I'm telling you right now, that is unheard of in California. Never. Yeah. No, that's not a thing. Not even for a bedroom in California would it be that cheap.
Yeah.
So anyways, we were barely making it here. And, we had to work really, really hard. We had to work multiple jobs until one of those jobs would end up working out.
Something was bound to pay off. I mean, that's the California American dream.
Yeah.
Is that you keep grinding until something snags and then you jump on it, and that's kind of what everyone is doing in California.
Yeah.
They're coming here for opportunity.
Mm-hmm. And we got lucky. We worked really hard.
There's a little bit of luck.
Some luck. And I feel like the hardest part was because California is so expensive to live in is how do we know when we could actually take the jump and rely on just one source of income?
Yeah.
Because we were relying from so many different areas that, gosh, I'm just going to say a little bit of props to Brian because he has always made it work.
I've always made money, you mean?
You've always made money, but you've made money from anything and anywhere. Like, and you were always taught as a child, like, making money is the easiest thing.
Yeah, my mom kind of always, like, told me it's like the easiest thing you can make is money. So just try to make a lot of it.
Yeah, which seems...
You don't have to, suffer.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what he did. He's always been like, oh, we've got a bill. Okay, where are we going to get this money from? And then he just like go, I'm going to go do photography now. I'm going to go do this wedding. I'm going to
go get a job and...
Yeah, and he would make the money and he would do it. And that's how he's always been. And he's always just been like an entrepreneur. And he's been doing this since high school.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been literally trying to afford your own personal items.
Yeah, in high school, I was kind of raising myself. So I really wanted the iPhone when it came out. I had no money.
You guys, he's had every single iPhone ever. Yeah. And he was never someone who had money.
No, I didn't come up from money, but I was 15 and had a job and was working after school every single day. You know what I mean? I was paying my own car insurance, my own gas. I paid for my own car.
And he took such good care of his things.
My computer,
He would just sell them and then buy the next thing that he wanted.
Yeah. I would buy everything. Everything in my room I bought.
Yeah.
When I was 16.
Yeah.
My own bed even.
Yeah.
So I was always...
He wanted it. Yeah. And he worked for it and he worked hard and you made it happen.
Yeah. So that was kind of just like my mindset. Yeah. And I always wanted the new iPhone.
Yeah.
I kind of even told myself, I was like, you know what? Like, I don't need a lot of money. I got the new iPhone. That's all you need in life, right? I didn't care. I was like, I don't need to be a famous singer. I've got the iPhone 3G now. I was like, how many people got the iPhone 3G?
He literally said everyone.
But it was like the iPhone culture, like when it was blowing up.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you've always made sure to have your things that you needed, especially things that you might need to make money.
Totally.
And
like computers,
really cool.
Computers were always really important to me. I was always flipping computers, making sure that I could like get something upgraded and not have to spend any more money so I could stay relevant in the game, and because I was working with I was working with wedding photographers who had been doing it for 20 years.
It's literally what he's still doing, but at a much upper scale. You know what I mean? Like you still are like, okay, what are we going to need next so we can continue to make money, to continue to grow, to continue, you know, like you're always thinking.
And I'm happy because I never went to business school, but I'm happy I at least have that mindset of like, I know I get the idea of money going in and out. Mm-hmm. So if I have money going out, it needs to be bringing something in. Yeah. And if it doesn't, you have to tweak until it does. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like how my mindset has always been. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I've always, we've had some tough times and we've always made it work somehow. I've always found money somehow, you know, and that's just what you do when you're hustling. Yeah. And by finding money, like not in debt. Yeah. You know, we may have at some point racked up a little bit of debt, but nothing. Yeah. It was nothing I knew I couldn't take care of. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I probably had like 15 G's in school. Mm-hmm. Yeah. School was the hardest one, but that was a really exciting day when we got to finally pay that off. Yeah. That was like the first and only debt I think I paid off. Yeah. Was my school, and I did it all in one shot. Yeah. It felt really good to write a check. Exciting. Because I was like, oh man, it's just like when you have that bill to pay, every month it hits your email and it's anxiety and it's so much weight. And I'm like, this is not worth it. I was like, I could totally pay this for the next 10 years, but why? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So taking care of it was like such an amazing feeling. Yeah, no, it was, for sure. It's just so awesome how, you know, how the American dream was actually possible for us. And my family, none of us obviously came from money. We've said that. And you always wonder, cause I had a lot of guilt as we were starting to make money. Like, oh yeah, there's a lot of weird feelings that come about when you're handed money that you're not used to. Yeah. And I just didn't like, why do I deserve this? Like, what have I done to get this? I don't understand. And what do we do with it? I was so worried of like what my family would think, not even like my mom and dad, but like my aunts and uncles, like what would they think? And they were all so happy for us. Like they just supported us and loved us. And we're like, wow, you literally did the American dream. You took the newest technology that's there and you just went with it and grew with it and took advantage of it. And they were just like, I just remember my aunt just being like, good job. Like you did it. Like you did exactly what everyone wants to do. And I just thought that was so cool. And it made me go, okay, cool. We're working hard and we deserve this. And obviously we manage our guilt in other ways too. We always find ways to share and give back in every way that we can. Cause otherwise I don't think we could possibly feel good about ourselves. Yeah. There has to be a balance. Yeah. And maybe we'll talk more about that. Yeah. If you guys want us to talk about dollar signs, let us know. But there's a lot of fun. There's definitely a lot of fun things, but there's a lot of interesting things that come about with money when you're managing money and making money and mentally. I mean, it can mentally be so draining and hard. And I mean, not even like relationships. You think about how much money can touch in your life. Oh yeah. Yeah. So. Yeah, for sure. I mean, money's always been kind of a weird thing for me just because I never wanted it. I never needed it. I never felt that it was necessary. I just needed enough to live. And you need it to live in California. Yeah. Plain and simple. You need money to live in California. I know. It's unfortunate. Yeah. All right, you guys, we've got Ollie on today. What's up, buddy?
I want to be what I want to grow up. You want to bet.
We kind of told him a subject. So we were kind of
like, what do you want to talk about, Ollie? So Ollie talks about some fun things on our podcast sometimes. He's talked about volcanoes and some of his scary dreams. But today he wanted to talk about what he wants to be when he grows up, right?
So we've actually asked him a couple times, what does he want to be when he grows up? And he's always said, I just want to be me. And I'm like, you can be you. But, you can also pick a job. And at first he said, I just want to be like daddy. And I was like, well, Avi. I mean, but then you finally figured out what you want to be when you grow up, huh?
A vet.
Yeah, so go ahead and talk into the microphone.
A vet. I really want to be a vet.
So what does a vet
do?
They take care of pets.
So what made you decide that you wanted to be a vet?
My pets are fountain is.
Oh, yeah. So he had started collecting toys that he...
So tell us about what you're doing in the fountain, Ollie.
So I have just one crab. I let my sock go and my alligator go, and I have my crab.
Yes. So he has been collecting all these little toys that he calls his pets, and he puts them in the fountain.
They're like
and he
his
takes
little
care of
animal
them.
friends. It's like your own personal little zoo.
Yeah.
Like you know, you're a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ollie, do you want to be a zookeeper or do you want to be a veterinarian, though? Because a zookeeper will take care of an animal where it lives and stuff, but a veterinarian fixes an animal in case they get hurt. Which one would you rather do?
A zoo guy.
Oh.
You'd rather keep all the animals in the cages?
Yeah.
That
Well,
makes
that's not
sense.
very nice.
But the doctor can come and take my pets.
True. He's like, wait, so I don't have to do all the hard work. I can just have all the animals in
Take care of
cages
them.
and have the doctor come and do it myself, take care of my own animals.
Yeah. Ollie, you're so
funny.
cute. I'm so glad you figured out what you wanted to be, huh? And then he had a friend over today who also wants to be a vet, huh?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, she actually doesn't want to be a vet anymore, Ollie. What does she want to be?
A princess.
Yeah,
Yep.
she did. She's
changed
always wanted to be a
professions.
vet. And I was so excited because Ollie finally figured out what
Yeah.
he wanted to be. And he decided a vet. And I was like, oh, we have a friend who wants to be a vet. And I go, Amelia, guess what? Ollie wants to be a vet too. And she's like, I don't want to be a vet anymore. I just want to be a princess. And I was like, well, that's what I want to be.
No kidding. We all want to be princesses, okay? You
But
can't
she's-
just go to college and start working on your math major and then halfway decide you want a bachelor's in Disney princessing. It's just not a thing, right, Ollie?
Ollie, do you want to be a princess when you grow up?
No.
I'm not a girl.
Well, how about a prince? Do you want to be a prince? No.
No.
He just wants to take care of
You
animals.
just want to be a normal boy with a very large animal collection, right? Okay.
Sounds like mama.
High five.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for being on our podcast, dude.
You're welcome.
You gonna say bye, everyone?
Bye.
Love you. He's so funny.
I know. I love having a mom. He always just kind of comes out of his shell a little bit and starts talking.
Literally running into like everything on the way out the
Yeah.
door. He's like, I'm okay. Anyway, we did it, babe. Hey, babe, episode 4. High five.
Poopy diaper, you just said.
He's still doing something. I don't know.
You can leave now, Ollie.
All right, it's time for the children to leave the room.
Anyways, yeah, no, I think this was a fun little, interesting podcast. Let us know what you guys think. Make sure you comment, leave reviews once again. And you can always ask us questions on Twitter.
Hey, babe.
yeah.
Be sure to leave us a rating and review in iTunes podcast as well.
Yeah, let us know what you want to hear from us next, what stories you want to hear.
And just so you know, you can also listen on Spotify. I believe there should be a Spotify link down in the description.